You're reading? Oh, you need, yes. You want to see everything. So we're reading Srimad Bhagavatam again. We are in the chapter now where it's going to be explained about Emperor Parikshit's confrontation with the personality of Kali, who began his reign of terror in the guise of a lower class person dressed as a king, beating a cow, not an ordinary cow, and not an ordinary bull. It says deep symbolic meaning as well, but we're going to see. But Emperor Parikshit, came across this divine scene, and he ended up, you could say, instead of just killing Kali, which would normally be done, he actually gave Kali some facility that he could have a place in the kingdom. But unfortunately, anyone who follows these certain activities will have a place with Kali in their kingdom, which means they'll have a very inauspicious and unfortunate life. And we see it's practically available anywhere where this is happening. It's just a rough go in that place. So anyhow, what we are going to do is read the Srimad Bhagavatam. Before we begin, let's chant some prayers, offering our obeisances unto our Guru Varga, from which we are receiving this divine knowledge, all the way up from the Supreme Lord, the sages giving the Bhagavatam, and our acharyas, Srila Prabhupada, commentating, and and the Supreme Lord ultimately empowering all of them. So these prayers will cover all of the personalities. Good fortune, I got to just gently speak with him. Just only a few minutes ago, half hour ago, a little less, maybe, a little more, 45 minutes ago. Without him, my wife and I would have remained very lost for a very long time. I want to offer my obeisances to the many Shiksha Gurus who have come into my life these past few years and are helping guide me forward in my sadhana bhakti practice, and have helped me make leaps and bounds of advancement that I never could have made without their guidance. And I want to offer obeisances to all of the Guru Varga up until the Supreme Lord, and then all of the Vaishnavas, past, present, and future, who are empowering the continuation of Krishna consciousness in my life and in all lives, and growing and spreading this consciousness all over the world. So anyone online, my obeisances, especially you guys live, Madam Parth, my obeisances to you. There are just enough people where I don't want to give up on Bhagavatam class. Any less, I'll probably be like, no, we're not do Bhagavatam class. But you two are the one. And then who's your friend's name coming? Sampat. Sampat has to join for the morning programs. Yeah. Oh, you'll try? Yeah. Yeah. Is he, it'll be very difficult for him to make advancement. What's his work schedule, do you know?
He similar to me.
Yeah, like 9:30, 10 he could work. Yeah, just tell him you have to do a morning program at least, we'll just make him do everything. Like, no problem. It'll be quick and easy. And he'll, no problem. So anyhow, we talked about yesterday, there are those amongst men who desire freedom from death and get eternal life. They escape the slaughtering process by calling the controller of death Yamaraj. It wasn't yesterday, it was 2 days ago. We talked before that about the devotees always eager to hear, be like a honeybee, ready to lick the honey off the lotus feet of the Lord. Always, everything has to be related to the Lord. And it's one of the things, even if you desire freedom from death and get eternal life, anything related to the Lord will do that, and you'll escape the slaughtering process by calling the controller of death Yamaraj. So Yamaraj, death himself, is a devotee of the Lord. So if you yourself are serving the Lord, this is evidenced in the Bhagavatam by the Ajamil pastime, the agents of Yamaraj, they will back off of you. They're not ready, and they usually give people a cruel destination due to their many sinful activities. What all of the main religions, they consider hell. This is Yamaraj's abode of punishment for the wicked living entities. Hell is not for the righteous. But anything for one who's devoted themselves to God, that hell, you're saved from that destination of hell and having strict punishment from Yamaraj. And Yamaraj personally will attend to your sacrifices and enjoy that which you are doing. Even Yamaraj is coming here to Srimad Bhagavatam because we're glorifying the Supreme Lord, or maybe the humble attempt. Maybe, who knows, I'm quite a rascal, so... but maybe he's come for your guys' sincere ability to hear. So, we're on text... we're actually on text 8. I think I wrote 9, but we're on text 8. Nakishchin mriyate tavat yavadasta hi hantaka etadarthang hi bhagavan ahuta paramarshibi aho nirloke piyeta hari lilamritang vachaha. Yeah, lilamrita. Very good. Not kashchit, anyone, mriyate, will die, tavat, so long, yavat, as long as, aste, is present, iha, herein, antaka, one who causes the end of life, etat, this, artham, reason, he, certainly, Bhagavan, the representative of the Lord, ahuta, invited, Paramarishabhi, by the great sages. Aho, alas, Nirloke, in the human society. Piyeta, let them drink. Hari Lila, transcendental pastimes of the Lord. Amritam, nectar for eternal life. Vacha, narrations. As long as Yamaraj, who causes everyone's death, is present here, no one shall meet with death. The great sages have invited the controller of death, Yamaraj, who is the representative of the Lord. Living beings who are under his grip should take advantage by hearing the deathless nectar in the form of this narration of the transcendental pastimes of the Lord. So, if you feel like you're under the grip of death, that which you're focusing on, that which you're, that which you're accumulating, putting your attention on, if it's under the grip of death, you should hear the deathless nectar in the form of this narration of the transcendental pastimes of the Lord. By hearing about any activity regarding the Lord has eternal activities, where we in the material world have also eternal activities, but it's always manifesting as changing and temporary, and we forget, like, our last lifetime. Modern understanding, especially in the West, doesn't really acknowledge reincarnation, but it's actually a factual science. Even scientific studies, there's a phenomena that young children often have very vivid type of memories of past life experiences. And usually in the West, they're just like, oh, kids are crazy, they just say silly, stupid things. But there have been actually some scientists, one very famous in the University of Virginia, actually, where he started documenting all these things. Just, all right, let me see. And they were able to draw amazing type of results where it's only possible if they actually were speaking the truth. How could they know this fact about this person, this, and the other? In the East, this is common all the time. They've solved many murders in the past because the next incarnated child has remembered, no, this person did this and they buried here. And then many times this has actually happened in the East, but reincarnation is understood. But in the West, because we're pretty far off from this understanding, we're just like, kids are nuts. Kids are crazy. They just say silly things all the time. So anyway, but our past life isn't so valuable to us to know, or we would know. We don't know anything about it. It's actually for good fortune, because there's so much pain and suffering that if we remembered all of it, it would be very painful. But also, even beyond that, this forgetfulness of the past lives is what keeps the illusion running, the illusion machine of the material world. So we have to forget, but there's, and then again, everything we do in this world comes to a close and we die, including all our experiences and all the money we've accumulated, all the property, all the children, all of the relationships, everything just finished. No one remembers their mother in their past life. No one remembers their wife or their husband. No one remembers who's who. You don't know. It might be very awkward. You might have had a wife in your past life, and your wife is now your child in this life. It'd be very awkward. Imagine if you remembered all of the activities in both lives. It'd be very strange. So you have to forget, actually. Or it would be, you have no idea who is who, in life to life. One life you could have father. One life they could be your mother. One life, they could be another personality, your enemy. You have no idea who is who. But anyhow, hearing the deathless nectar in the form of this narration of the transcendental pastimes of the Lord, so anyone under this grip should take advantage by doing this. So we're going to do it. Purport: every human being dislikes meeting death, but he does not know how to get rid of death. The surest remedy for avoiding death is to accustom oneself to hearing the nectarian pastimes of the Lord, as they are systematically narrated in the text of Srimad Bhagavatam. It is advised herein, therefore, that any human being who desires freedom from death should take to this course of life, as recommended by the rishis, headed by Shaunaka. So this is what Emperor Parikshit is going to do for 7 days straight. He's realizing he's going to meet death. He knows exactly when it's going to happen within a 7-day period. And he was cursed, and he accepted the curse, and he prepared for death, and this is the best way to prepare for death. This is what the sages all they got together, and this was the ultimate conclusion of the great sages, of the most intelligent of all living beings in this world, is that you should hear about the pastimes of the Lord, and the great recitation of Srimad Bhagavatam took place. So we should hear it regularly. That's why Bhagavat Shravan is one of the, Sadhu Sangha Nama. Oh, Craig, Hare Krishna. Sadhu Sangha, Nam Sankirtan, and Bhagavata Shravan. And then there's the other verses, the other things as well. There's a verse in Chaitanya Charitamrita talking about these 5 amazing things. So mandasya manda pragyasya
Mandasya manda pragyasya
vayo manda yushashchavai
manda yashashchavai
nidraya hriyate naktang
nidaya hriyate nartam
divacha vyartha karma bhi.
vacha vyartha karmabhi
Mandasya, of the lazy. Manda, paltry. Pragyasya, of intelligence. Just a quick detour. Paltry, I think, just means like, I think something not good. Of small or meager. So petty or trivial as well.
What's the word?
Paltry. So paltry, pragyasya, of intelligence. So one with small intelligence, like a fool. Vaya, age. Manda, short. Ayusha, of the duration of duration of life. Cha, and vai, exactly. Nidraya, by sleeping. Hriyate, passes away. Naktam, night. Diva, daytime. Cha, also. Vyartha, for nothing. Karmabhi, by activities. Translation: lazy human beings with paltry or small intelligence and a short duration of life pass the night sleeping and the day performing activities that are for naught. So activities that are for nothing. It's practically everyone in this age. The less intelligent do not know the real value of the human form of life. The human form is a special gift of material nature in the course of her enforcing stringent laws of miseries upon the living being. It is a chance to achieve the highest boon of life, namely to get out of the entanglement of repeated birth and death. The intelligent take care of this important gift by strenuously endeavoring to get out of the entanglement. But the less intelligent are lazy and unable to evaluate the gift of the human body to achieve liberation from the material bondage. They become more interested in so-called economic development and work very hard throughout life simply for the sense enjoyment of the temporary body. Sense enjoyment is also allowed to the lower animals by the law of nature, and thus a human being is also destined to a certain amount of sense enjoyment according to its past or present life. But one should definitely try to understand that sense enjoyment is not the ultimate goal of life, of human life. Herein it is said that during the daytime one works for nothing, because the aim is nothing but sense enjoyment. We can particularly observe how the human being is engaged for nothing in the great cities and industrial towns. There are so many things manufactured by human energy, but they are all meant for sense enjoyment and not for getting out of material bondage. And after working hard during the daytime, a tired man either sleeps or engages in sex habits at night. That is the program of materialistic civilized life for the less intelligent. Therefore, they are designated herein as lazy, unfortunate, and short-lived. So this is the symptom of a fool, is that they do all kinds of activities that are for nothing, meaning they are for the temporary sense enjoyment of the human body. So you just look at your life. Okay, what do? I do this, I do that, I do this. And you say, is this for a temporary arrangement, or is this helping me in my eternal arrangement here? Eternal arrangement is, am I getting closer to the Supreme Lord through these activities? Or am I just trying to eat, drink, sleep, be merry, the things of this world? You might find, oh man, I'm a little bit too engaged in this thing. I'm working for so much. Why am I so engaged? So that person's actually lazy because it's actually difficult. It's difficult work to engage yourself in sadhana bhakti. It's not easy to sit down and give some time to chanting the names of the Lord, give time to studying the scriptures, give time to hearing from more advanced devotees than oneself. It's not easy to serve devotees like this. It's not easy to add that on and then still do all of your basic activities for life. Sometimes people accuse the Hare Krishnas for being lazy. They say, you're lazy. You don't want to just work and do what everyone else does. Not only do the Hare Krishnas work, and then on top of that, they might throw another 3 to 4 hours of sadhana in there every day. The Hare Krishnas are the least lazy people I've ever seen, actually. I can not work for, no actual job for, maybe it's been like almost 4 years now since I've worked like an actual job. And yeah, my life is more busy, progressively more busy than ever.
But you are working an actual job,
Yeah.
but your job is for Krishna.
Yeah, that's the thing, but it doesn't feel like a job. I don't feel like there's a job here and there. Yeah, there's some exchange of money with the Airbnbs and stuff like that, but it's not much. And actually my efforts with that's not where my energy is going. My energy is maintaining the spiritual community here and trying to how to advance this, and especially this message in my life and in everyone's life. But yeah, we're not the lazy ones, actually. Hare Krishna is not for Prabhupada would say the lazies and the crazies. Oh, you're crazy, you don't fit in with the rest of society, here, you come here. No, the craziness has to be cleaned up. No problem, anyone lazy, crazy, come on in, but you better not stay lazy and crazy. Anyone with good sense will use eventually 100% of one's time in Krishna consciousness. This is this verse. Tanama rupa charitari sukirtananu smrityo krimena rasanama nasini yojya tishtan brajeta anuragi jananugami kalang nayera kilamityupadesha sadam. What's it mean? That holy name, in the forms of Krishna, even the Murti, the deity forms of Krishna, and his character and pastimes, like that are mentioned in Srimad Bhagavatam, should happily be chanted, happily be glorified. Like when we even come for Bhagavatam class, we're glorifying the Lord. This is kirtan, actually. Very important. Even when we come for kirtans yesterday, we had a really, really wonderful program yesterday. Madhav did such a good job, and with Parth actually as well, 2 weeks in a row at the Indian store on Saturday, and that was practically our whole congregation, was people that were met at the Indian store, and they came. I was so happy to see so many new and bright, sincere faces. And even one of the gentlemen, he brought his devotee friend. He was one of the original devotees here before I got here. He brought Tejas here for the first time. And Tejas has been a stalwart here. So it was really good to reconnect with him. And he's I could tell he was feeling there. I don't know what happened, but he got discouraged from coming here for some time before I got here. And so I don't think he hasn't come in some years. But by meeting him and him being in the program and experiencing it, I think a change of heart was there. And we're really, really happy to meet such personalities locally. And also to these two really nice Western father and son, kind of remind me a little bit of a younger version of you guys, came as well. And they really also liked a lot of the program. So anyway, these are the activities that we're supposed to do, increasing this Bhakti Yoga movement. But if we waste our life doing all kinds of useless activities on the TV, or even just making some money for no higher goal, or even any type of activity that we do, if it's not going to advance us in Hari Bhajan or our worship of the Lord, or our devotion to the Lord, it's actually all for nothing. All for nothing. I've learned this very much so with so many endeavors. I've made recently and in the past, and just all for nothing. Not even any gain, only loss. And loss of time, loss of energy, sometimes even loss of resources. Like you build a business and then the business collapses and everyone goes into debt, and it's a disappointing thing, and you put so much time, effort, and anything for nothing. But this is practically what everyone is doing. They're doing everything for nothing in this material world. But this is because they have paltry intelligence. They don't really know, and they're lazy. They don't really know what their ultimate goal is. So we'll continue on. Sutu vacha
Sutam vacha.
yada parikshit kuru jangale vasa
Parikshit Guru Jangale Vasa.
kaling pravishtang nija chakravartite
Pravishtam Nija Chakravartite.
nishamya vartam manati priyang tata
Samyavartam Anati Priyam Tada.
sharasanang sangyuga shandiradade
Asanam Samyuga Sandhir Adade.
Sutu vacha. Suta Goswami said, Yada, when, Parikshit, Maharaj Parikshit, Kuru Jangale, in the capital of Kuru's empire, Avasat was reciting, Kalim, the symptoms of the age of Kali, Pravishtam, entered, Nija Chakravartite, within his jurisdiction, Nishamya, thus hearing, Vartam, news, Anati Priyam, not very palatable, Tata, thereafter, Sharasanam, arrows and bows, Sangyuga, having gotten a chance for, Shondi, martial activities, Adade, took up. Suta Goswami said, while Maharaj Parikshit was residing in the capital of the Kuru Empire, the symptoms of the age of Kali began to infiltrate within the jurisdiction of his state. When he learned about this, he did not think the matter very palatable. This did, however, give him a chance to fight. He took up his bow and arrows and prepared himself for military activities. The state administration of Maharaj Parikshit was so perfect that he was sitting in his capital peacefully. But he got the news that the symptoms of the age of Kali had already infiltrated into the jurisdiction of his state, and he did not like this news. What are the symptoms of the age of Kali? They are 1. Illicit connection with women, 2. Indulgence in meat eating, 3. Intoxication, and 4. Taking pleasure in gambling. The age of Kali literally means the age of quarrel, and the above-mentioned 4 symptoms in human society are the root causes for all kinds of quarrel. Maharaj Parikshit heard that some of the people of the state had already taken to those symptoms, and he wanted to take immediate steps against such causes of unrest. This means that at least up to the regime of Maharaj Parikshit, such symptoms of public life were practically unknown, and as soon as they were slightly detected, he wanted to root them out. The news was not palatable for him, but in a way it was, because Maharaj Parikshit got a chance to fight. There was no need to fight with small states because everyone was peacefully under his subordination, but the Kali Yuga miscreants gave his fighting spirit a chance for exhibition. Kshatriyas like to fight, actually. They like to, just like athletes, they like to, challenge themselves and challenge others and emerge victorious. It's just part of their nature, and it doesn't have to necessarily be a bad thing or a character defect. It is technically of the lower modes of nature to enjoy these type of things, but ultimately, Maharaj Parikshit was a Rajarishi. He was a saintly king, and he actually fighting can be for a good cause, like the Bhagavad Gita. You can fight for many a good causes, and so now he's seeing it's his time to fight the good fight. So he's going out. A perfect Kshatriya king is always jubilant as soon as he gets a chance to fight, just as a sportsman is eager when there is a chance for a sporting match. It is no argument that in the age of Kali such symptoms are predestined. If so, then why was there preparation for fighting out such symptoms? Such arguments are offered by lazy and unfortunate men. In the rainy season, rain is predestined, and yet people take precautions to protect themselves. Similarly, in the age of Kali, the symptoms as above mentioned are sure to infiltrate into social life. But it is the duty of the state to save the citizens from the association of the agents of the age of Kali. That used to be what the duty of the state was, to actually protect the citizens. Now it's to exploit the citizens, because we're in the age of Kali. But it used to be the government was meant to serve the people, actually. But no, not anymore. Maharaj Parikshit wanted to punish the miscreants indulging in the symptoms of Kali, and thus save the innocent citizens who were pure in habit by culture of religion. It is the duty of the king to give such protection, and Maharaj Parikshit was perfectly right when he prepared himself to fight. This is what fighting should be for. It's to protect the innocent. Bhagavad Gita was fought, that war was fought to protect the innocent. One innocent personalities like the Pandavas were being brutally treated by the opposing forces, And on top of that, the leadership over the whole world was inauspicious due to such brutal behavior by the government. And such forces have to be removed. So, yeah, I don't know what the plan would be for today's situation. Everyone's got to be removed on both sides of every country of the world, practically. Maybe India has a chance, but I don't know. I don't know. Yay. So, Maharaj Parikshit was perfectly right when he prepared himself to fight. Let's read this one. Svalan kritang shamaturang. No. Svalan kritang shamaturanga yojitang. Rithang mrigendra dvajam ashrita pura. Vritorathashva dvipapati yuktaya. Svasena yadig vijayaya nirgata. Sualankritam, very well decorated. Shama, black. Turanga, horses. Yojitam, tackled. Ratham, chariot. Mriga lion. Dvajam, flagged. Ashrita, under the protection. Purat, from the capital. Vrita, surrounded by. Ratha, charioteers. Ashva, cavalry. Dvipapati, elephants. Yuktaya, thus being equipped. Svasenaya, along with infantry. Digvijayaya, for the purpose of conquering. Nirgata, went out. Maharaj Parikshit sat on a chariot drawn by black horses. His flag was marked with the sign of a lion, being so decorated and surrounded by charioteers, cavalry, elephants, and infantry soldiers. He left the capital to conquer, to conquer in all directions. Maharaj Parikshit is distinguished from his grandfather Arjuna, for black horses pulled his chariot instead of white horses. He marked his flag with the mark of a lion, and his grandfather marked his with the mark of Hanumanji. A royal procession like that of Maharaj Parikshit, surrounded by well-decorated chariots, cavalry, elephants, infantry, and band, not only is pleasing to the eyes, but also is a sign of civilization that is aesthetic even on the fighting front. The fighting front. So this is what, in antiquity time, this is the proper, or the very impressive army. Chariots, cavalry, men on horses, elephants and infantry, men on foot with weapons. And elephants, there's also people with weapons on the elephants. It's very, before tanks and fighter jets and this thing, that thing, the other thing, fighting with robots and drones and stuff like this. This is how one used to fight. Honorably and also very impressively. Now, it's everything is guerrilla warfare. This country is founded on pride in guerrilla warfare. The British were so confused in this country because they went to fight like you were always honorably supposed to fight, and the people of this country just were like, nope, not fighting that type of fight, and we were just attacking from the trees and out of nowhere, and it actually worked. But anyhow,
I was going to say we wouldn't have won, probably.
No, definitely wouldn't have won. So,
I thought it would have won.
yeah. I mean, the British had to, but they couldn't even fathom. Our country was the first to even fathom that you would fight out of some type of honor code. Our country was the first to just to show you, like, nope, we're not doing it, and that's a symptom of Kali Yuga. But there used to be an honor code of how to properly fight, and so on. Maybe there's time for one more. Yeah, we can do it. Bajashwam ketumalang cha Bharatang chotaran kurun Kim purushadini varshani Vijitya jagrahe balim Bajashwam Ketumala Cha, also, Bharata, Cha, and Uttaran, the northern countries. Kurun, the kingdom of the Kuru dynasty. Kim Purusha Adini, a country beyond the northern side of the Himalayas. Varshani, parts of the earth planet. Vijitya, conquering. Jagrahe, exacted. Balim, strength. Maharaj Parikshit then conquered all parts of the earthly planet, Bhadrashva, Ketumala, Bharata, the northern Kuru, Kimpurusha, etc., and exacted tributes from their respective rulers. So if you were conquered, it's either you paid the tax or you were conquered and you were forcibly taken the tax. So that was the ancient way. So, good morning, Miss Stanker. So Bhadrashva, it is an island near Meru Parvata. There is a description of this island in the Mahabharata, in the Bhishma Parva, 7:16-18. The description was narrated by Sanjaya to Dhritarashtra. Yay! It was so these are all different parts of the Earth planet. Now, even some of them not even well known. But others became other places like Russia and Europe and some things like this. Maharaj Yudhishthira also conquered this island, and thus the province was included within the jurisdiction of his empire. Maharaj Parikshit was formally declared to be the emperor of all lands ruled by his grandfather, but still he had to establish his supremacy while he was out of his capital to exact tribute from such states. So, like the federal government, all the states pay their taxes to the federal government. But every once in a while you might get a state that looks like it's going to go rogue. And like, no way, I'm not supporting that anymore. And then there might be like a civil war. And then, and that happened in this country. And so, the ruler always has to check on the states to make sure, they're contributing to the overall government and so on. So this was happening. This is part of the duties of a king. Ketumala, the earth planet is divided into 7 parts, and according to others it is divided into 9 parts. This earth is called Jambudvip and is divided into 9 varshas. Bharata Varsha is one of the above mentioned 9 varshas. Such varshas are known as continents in the modern geographical context. Ketumala is described as one of the above varshas. It is said that in this varsha women are the most beautiful. This varsha was conquered by Arjuna also. A description of this part of the world is available in the Mahabharata, in the Shabha Parva, 286:32-33. So these, back then, the world was organized a little differently than it is now. And actually, it's said in many of these places, very advanced beings lived, actually. Or very, like here, very beautiful women were in this place. It is said that this part of the world is situated on the western side of the Meru Parvata. Meru is like there's like a mountain, like a large, very, very large mountain. Some say it's made out of like heavenly divine energy. But actually it's in the center of the all of the places in the world. So this is the description. And the inhabitants of this, what's that?
Sumeru different.
Sumeru, and the inhabitants of this province used to live up to 10,000s of years. Human beings living in this part of the globe are of golden color, and the women resemble the angels of heaven. The inhabitants are free from all kinds of diseases and grief. That's very nice. There's such a place. I don't know of any of these places anymore. Actually, it's very interesting. There's certain places you can't go. Like our governments, of world governments, practically agree on nothing. But do you know there's one thing they all agree on? Yeah, you can't go to Antarctica. You can't go past a certain, also there's the whole...
You can't go where?
You can't go to Antarctica. No ordinary citizen, it has to be under very strict government rule. And the whole world agrees. You can't go here.
Do you know why?
What? Well, they say it's very cold and things like that.
It's very cold.
But
Do you know why? Because of the crevasses. And you know who you need to ask? Call your Uncle Jay, Dr. Wally, who has a crevasse named after him, and he'll tell you why.
what is a crevasse?
It's a giant hole that you fall in and never come back.
Oh,
And the snow opens, the ice opens up, and you don't know when it's going to happen. That's why you never go alone in Antarctica. You have to walk in pairs.
Uncle Jay's like a glacier sign.
Well, that's...
He's actually famous, and they did name a crevasse actually.
Yeah.
In case that's what.
So that's
Okay.
So whoever's residing there is set up traps.
maybe
Actually,
maybe.
a friend of theirs went out by himself because he forgot something.
Yeah.
Never came back.
There's actually a bunch of really interesting things about Antarctica that the Nazis had all kinds of discoveries and advanced
Well,
things
I already
there.
debunked that one.
Yeah.
I'm telling you why you can't.
Well, you don't know anything for a fact, but there's all
Actually,
kinds
because
of.
I know a glacial scientist.
Yeah.
So.
There's also a really interesting. There's really an interesting story of an admiral. He was very famous actually, but he was an American Navy admiral, and he flew over Antarctica, and he found something really interesting. Actually, his plane got hijacked. It's a real thing. You could look up the diary of Admiral Richard Byrd, they were very advanced beings on Antarctica, beyond a certain portion of ice, and they were actually very interesting. They're beyond a certain portion of ice. There was like a place of beautiful weather and exotic animals, even mammoths and things like this were said to be seen there. And I don't even doubt that these crevasses may be there. Maybe they were set up as traps by advanced beings. But the ancient described some of these places as very advanced with the very advanced beings. And interestingly enough, there's even a modern account of like a modern war hero. He was like one of the first to fly over Antarctica, and he literally his plane, all the electronics went down in the plane, and his plane got pulled down by some technology, and they took him out and actually gave him a briefing of what the people of this world are going. I kid you not, you could look this up. The people of this world are going under a very dark path with nuclear weaponry, and that either and he was to be someone to tell people not to, but actually it didn't. His diary didn't come out until actually he died, and he left it. But he wasn't allowed to tell. But he told his officers. So anyway, it was a very far out thing. But this is just one maybe thing that confirms what the Bhagavatam of ancient talked about, these very advanced races.
You were in North Carolina. There was that like Native American.
Oh yeah,
On like the billboard.
yeah. There's we used to live by what's the name of that lake? Not Chattanooga. We used to live by a very large lake in North Carolina. It's huge. It's a giant lake. And no, that's not it. It starts with a CH, I think.
It was like a Native American. It was like the Trail of Tears went through there. It was a really
It started there actually. In Hayesville, it started.
Yeah.
So, but anyhow, interestingly enough, in this lake, there was there's just like a billboard describing the legend of whatever soever lake is there, and what did they say? That the people there was a Native American tribe there, and they used to. You just get their water from the lake, and they, bathe in the lake, and they lived along the lake, and so on. But what ended up happening was that what was the circumstance? But some advanced beings.
They heard voices coming from the water, and they were told to fast for a certain amount of days.
Yeah.
And if they fasted, they would be taken to this like other heavenly realm.
Well, no, it was in the lake.
Water,
yeah, in the lake. But they were basically there was a.
This was just like on a billboard, like right
yeah,
next to the lake.
It's like the legend, the local legend of the lake. But basically, this Native American tribe, they hear a mysterious voice coming from like just like in the Vedas, they have these things like Kamsa heard.
Like the Native Americans worship the water.
Yeah, they worship the water. They worshipped all of and so some higher being, told them, or beings told them that if you fast, you can, you can come and become purified and come and stay with us. And basically what ended up happening is the whole tribe decided to fast, and then they all entered the water, and the advanced civilization took them down in some way in the water, and then the whole tribe like disappeared. And it's like the legend of the lake.
I didn't say legend. It was like this happened.
Well, I mean,
Yeah,
it's but that's been passed down for generations of Native
Sound like
Americans.
normal casino.
What's that?
Wakama?
No, that doesn't sound right.
Is it
It's near Hayesville, North Carolina.
I
Hayesville.
just don't see any big lakes.
It
It's
actually
not like a
wasn't that
great
big.
lake. It's not like a great lake or anything. It was just like a big lake. Whatever the lake is in Hayesville, North Carolina. But it's the local legend of
That was
the.
like one of the things the guy that brought us there to like sell us on the place. Like, come look at this lake. Like, all right.
It's Lake Chattooga.
Tortuga?
Chattooga, Chatuga. You can look up the legend of the lake. But this is a common thing actually that for many people, like people say oh, do aliens exist? Do other worlds exist? And things like that. And our governments also, although they used to agree that no, they definitely don't exist. But actually, if they want to be hidden, like for instance, there's so many upper echelon societies of I mean, look at all these islands that they're just finding out about, like Epstein's Island kind of got revealed. But there's all these type of islands that do secret activities that they don't want the world to know about, and they're not going to broadcast it. Yes, we're here, so they can come and ruin their party, So that's why there's like the secret rooms at Diddy's parties and things like that, where only certain people can go in. And I'm not. These are disgusting things that we're finding out. But people also, people who find enjoyment in a different way of life, if they don't want others to come in and cramp their style, that's why people make gated communities. Gated communities keep out people they don't want in the gated communities. So similarly. Yeah, maybe Antarctica may be one of those gated communities. We don't know. But these are different varshas are actually described with different types of people. But actually it's said that Maharaj Parikshit, he had entrance into many of these places and even jurisdiction from Yudhishthir's time. So, Bharat Varsha. This part of the world is called one of the 9 varshas of the Jambudvip, or earthly plane. That's said to be where we live, is in Bharat Varsha. We have only information of Bharat Varsha. So the 7 continents as we know them are Bharat Varsha. And everything else is beyond our purview. Like our modern scientists, this is going to freak everyone out, but might as well say it. Our modern scientists are presenting that the whole Earth is Bharat Varsha and it just like wraps around on a globe. But no other ancient tradition describes as such, and also no other, most of those images we see of that are admittedly artistry and computer technology. We don't, and we said, so yes, we've got photos, but we never really get the clearest view of everything here. And there's a lot of discrepancies in some of the...
So are you proposing flat Earth?
I'm not proposing anything. I'm telling you that there's a...
If somebody claims that, just show me the edge. That's all I ask.
Well, it's not a...
It's not necessarily flat.
Yeah, it's not like that. And interestingly enough...
Actually pictured.
Yeah, it's really interesting how like if you actually look at this is actually going to be described in the Bhagavatam at some point. I'm not saying we should all join the Flat Earth Society, because really there's not enough information. And if you want to try to go to the edge, you're blocked off by the militaries of the world. They all agree, because what...
For God's
No, I'm
sake. Say that out loud.
No, I'm telling you, you are. But like I'll show you, I'm not going to get too crazy into it, but I'll show you
Waiting for yesterday's
Oh,
order.
UN, you see this UN flag here? And it's surrounded. So,
Because the Earth is round. And we
well,
all know.
yes.
You can see it from the satellite up above.
Well, we have images that are there, but whether we should trust
Breathe out when
the
people
people
go
giving
up on
us
the
images,
spaceship, and
that's...
then you can see it.
Well,
And they're looking out live, and you can see it. Is that all fake too?
it's amazing what can be faked now. So you don't know what's real, you don't know what's not real.
I
And
think you're.
but the Bhagavatam describes one thing, but if you see here, this is what the flat earth people are saying. Instead of this being Antarctica being one continent altogether, that actually Antarctica, what we know, is a wall of ice surrounding like a lake. Actually, in the Bible, it also talks about the Earth is described, or what we know as Earth is like something stamped in clay, and then there's a realm beyond that. The Bhagavatam also describes something
So
similar.
even when you're up at 30,000 feet in an airplane, you can actually see the roundness of the earth.
Well,
I've seen that.
I have not.
Nobody made
'Cause-
pictures.
Yeah, I have not seen roundness actually. I've seen pretty steady. I mean, I've flown on
You're
airplanes.
up high enough,
Yeah.
you can see the
Yeah.
curvature.
I mean, we go on international flights. You don't get any higher than an international flight. Like going to India,
You also,
and you don't see clear roundness. It's pretty steady. Now, I'm not saying maybe they tell you have to go up even higher to perceive it, but there's also all kinds of
When was the Bhagavatam written?
5,500
Okay.
spoken.
So could we at least agree that they probably didn't have the tools to figure out whether or not the Earth was
Actually,
round?
they had greater tools.
They had even greater tools
Because you
back
think
then.
that because they were sailing around.
We're degraded. Things are getting
Okay.
less and less.
well, the understanding, yeah.
Well, it's a completely different paradigm. But what you have to understand is, one, we may not know everything that is to be known. We definitely don't. And but also, we may not be able to trust, especially in Kali Yuga, the presentations, the textbooks, the science, or even look at the original moon landing. It's a pretty pathetic attempt at trying to convince people of.
This is
Well,
a hard,
probably-
this is a hard
Yeah, no.
For my
Prabhupada
mom.
said the moon's actually farther away than the sun.
Well, the Bhagavatam is
We
also
didn't
saying
land on the moon, we land on some.
Rahu. Well, what he actually said was it was a yeah.
That I would believe, because what happened when we were sailing to America? We weren't really sailing to America. We ended up in the wrong place. We entered the wrong place multiple times, and that's how we found different continents, right? So that part I would believe, that possibly we didn't end up on the moon, because we don't really know which moon is the. We could have numerous moons.
I don't know
That
what
part I
they're
believe,
doing.
Space.
As far as I know, and I've heard, and Prabhupada actually confidentially agreed with this, that it was likely the Arizona desert.
Oh,
So, but anyway, that's
now you're watching too many movies.
I mean, this was Prabhupada's conclusion, a pure devotee as well. But at the same
So you're
time,
saying the earth is a stamp and it's flat?
the Bible says that. I'm not saying anything. The
I'm
Bible,
just,
yeah.
but I'm
Yeah.
trying to understand.
The Bhagavatam would say the same thing, that the Bhagavatam gives a whole canto on cosmology.
Bhagavatam describes the
It's fifth
continents
canto,
of islands.
and actually many.
How thick is it? Because obviously we drove quite far down.
No, so it's incredibly thick. I mean, you have a poster of the world systems, but it talks about how it is, and the Earth is like a middle plane, and it spans so far. Our modern interpretation, and it's all wrapped into a ball, and everything that we practically know everything wrapped into a ball, but.
And it's still described as round.
What?
Blue mandala. It's
Yeah, it is.
described
It
as
is
round.
described as
What
round.
about the other planets that we see that are our spheres
Yeah.
and things? Are they all flat too, but we just can't see them correctly?
That's it.
I understand.
No, I ask the same questions. I'm like, well, it also looks. We don't necessarily know it's a sphere. We look and we see, like, okay, from at least what we can see, like we see the sun. It's round. It could very easily be a sphere. From our perception. But what do we really know?
You're saying like the Earth is actually a circle, not a sphere.
What's being described in the ancient Shastras is one thing, and what I can say for a matter without a doubt is that there's so many discrepancies that you can study. Like, for instance,
Well, they're doing the whole Vedic planetarium.
yeah,
On this.
yeah, the Vedic planetarium, the Mayapur temple. This was Prabhupada's idea, to give people an actual description of what things look at as are like.
This is really fun.
Yeah, I've seen.
Yeah. So the Earth planet, the Buloka Earth planet is here. It actually puts on a globe right here, but that's not the actual description. It's like a circle realm or plane, and then there's planes lower. And the whole universe is said to be a sphere, actually. But the Earth is like a plane kind of center in the sphere, and it extends out very far. The Bible gives a similar description.
This is what they're going to show in the Vedic planetarium.
Yeah, these planets up here, they're more, they're finer and subtler, where they don't have physical manifestation like we have. You know, like demigods are actually beyond human vision most of the time and
Even
things.
there, they're showing the sphere, like, of the arch of the Earth.
Yes, there definitely is, but
Well, no, the whole thing.
Yeah.
That's the universe, right?
This is one universe right here, and then there's billions of
And then what's
universes,
that?
and then so this is,
And then it goes into the spiritual
you know,
world.
this is going up to the spiritual world. This is in the center is that Meru mountain leading up to all of the other abodes, supporting all of them, and Brahma's at the top of this, and it's considered to be like a lotus flower.
These are
Anyway, this is going to be far out for more people, but what I'm just here to tell you is that
Sorry, I didn't mean to.
no, it's because it's so many things we've been conditioned to
I mean,
believe.
I know our senses
Yeah.
are perfect, and Prabhupada said anything that
Yeah.
we create with using our senses is going to be imperfect, and then
Yeah.
anything based on that is also imperfect.
Yeah. So our senses, one, it's already scientifically proven, farly imperfect, highly imperfect, meaning you're seeing practically 0% of reality, even with your eyes, that you can
All
like.
you got to do is this, and you ruin your eyesight.
Yeah, there's so much, but even there's so many subtle things that you can't see that others can see. But all I'm saying is that it would be in our best interest to consider that in the Kali Yuga, the information that we're given is likely not authoritative, and that I would totally question, and you yourself, you can go down these rabbit holes. I've spent too much time already doing this in my life, but there are plenty of discrepancies. I can give you one example that doesn't meet the science. They tell you the curvature of the earth, right? So if you have curvature of the earth, if you're looking straight, you shouldn't be able to see certain things from a certain angle because it will go down in the curvature of the earth. That's not the case. You can absolutely see those things. And they've done tests with high-powered laser beams where they're actually able to see the laser. The laser shouldn't curve down with the earth, but it indeed, unless we find that lasers do curve down with the earth, and then there's something wrong. But actually, there's a lot of discrepancies with the modern scientific interpretation. There's a lot of holes in the story. Interestingly enough, the UN, they give kind of a flat earth model in their flag, which is very interesting. Because this is actually what is described, that the flat earth looks like. Instead of Antarctica being the giant continent at the bottom of the earth, it's actually a surrounding ice wall. It's like even in the Bible, like the outer realm of the stamp of the earth. And that there's realms, when you cross beyond the ice wall, there's realms beyond that. And that's what the Bhagavatam is also describing. I'm not going to tell you anything as a matter of fact, like, oh yes, I know, but I will tell you this. I definitely do not trust modern scientific, quote-unquote, scientific explanations, and there's just too much to gain by keeping us encapsulated and, practically as glorified farm animals for the systems of the world. So I don't trust these type of people's opinions. At the same time, I'm not going to state with a matter of fact, it's definitely like this. I can show you. I have no way to present evidence other than the fact that there are definitely discrepancies. And all types of, like for instance, NASA has been, their videos, they're using green screens and AI, and there's so many things, and you could see the proof, the people in the industries who know how these technologies work.
What's his name? The guy that owns Australian Airlines or Virgin Mobile, like Richard Branson.
Yeah.
And he went up in that balloon, and he went so high and stuff, and the video and the pictures that they took from there, I don't see how he would have doctored it when it was live,
Wow.
broadcasting live, and you could see.
We're not really sure. I mean, I can tell you this, in the Bhagavatam, the demons,
I mean, our senses are imperfect, but they're not useless.
yeah, they're not useless, but I can tell you this from the Bhagavatam. The demons have technologies which can cause illusions, which cause that one seeing this thinks one thing has happened. Like many people, for instance, we'll just throw them all out there today with the September 11th thing. Yeah, throw them all out there today.
Actually,
we're gonna do it.
Uncle Mike doesn't disagree with this.
Yeah,
Just-
but I've talked to Uncle Mike about this. But there are many people who were there. They experienced explosions from below. Even you see when they originally collapsed. There's things shooting out below the falling point where the planes hit.
Steel at the time.
Yeah.
Some of the engineers there said some of the same things, that by nature, the way the buildings were designed, they wouldn't just automatically collapse like
No, it's impossible, and nothing's ever been seen. And
especially
also,
at the level that where the planes hit.
but interestingly enough, and there were no like original videos of the plane actually hitting. Even if you look at the Pentagon plane hitting, you can't actually find.
Well, the second plane hit the Twin Towers. They have good.
Rob, we watched it live on TV.
So anyway, I'm
until the TV went out.
But what I'm saying is there's ways in technology where you can create an illusion of something, and like for instance, the Pentagon's hit also the trajectory and how to hit such a shot, and it hit the building that was monitoring the trillions of dollars of the day before that were announced and went missing. And then that's another really funny circumstance there. But anyway, it's all just, you gotta question that, maybe not everything that the TV tells me is real. And also the demons are documented in the Bhagavatam where they create illusions that actually aren't real, and like this is one of their main technologies. And in Kali Yuga, when demonic people rule the earth, which is a fact, everyone in this country, at least one half clearly recognizes the demonic nature, and when the other guy was in their last part, the other half clearly recognized the demonic nature in him. Not everyone's just realizing they're both demonic, and you're probably demonic yourself. So, but anyhow, that's just part of it. You gotta question that you very likely don't know anything with certainty, and if you hold so strongly to conditioned messages, you'll be limited by that you'll be conditioned. So, the Bhagavatam, the Bible, and so many ancient scriptures, they describe something else in regards to the earth. Now, that being said, Bhaktisiddhanta has used the word sphere before. Or in globe. Prabhupada himself has described roundness to the earth. The Bhagavatam itself, the UN map is literally what the Bhagavatam is describing as one portion of the, interestingly, it's the UN flag. This is what's being described. But, practically what do I know? I'm not telling you anything with a matter of certainty. I'm just telling you, there is a great reason to not necessarily trust, there's what you've been told, because there may be some agenda, quite literally, to keep you limited in your field of awareness. And who knows?
I'm more willing to accept the concept that what you were talking about, that the demons create illusion.
Yeah.
So that we think we're seeing one thing, but it's not really that.
Yeah.
Whereas, because technology today...
It's amazing.
Yeah, but you gotta remember, 1969, when I watched the landing on the moon, whether they actually did or not, they didn't have anywhere near the technology.
Yeah. So, but... Yeah, even now the conspiracy people of the world, they talk about certain things that people, but the big thing that they're worried about now is something called Operation Bluebeam or something. That's some I don't know, but basically it's that they're going to use technology to staged some type of like cosmic invasion, an alien invasion or something like that. And actually, if you look at the technology of what they can do, it's amazing. The hologram technology that's available now.
So
yeah.
Facebook,
It's-
half the time I don't know it's real.
Yeah, I mean, even this deep fake technology, they can make
Well,
someone's...
I don't know, you probably never saw
Yeah.
a movie, or maybe you did, with O.J. Simpson and what's his name?
No.
It was all about a fake moon landing.
Yeah.
And then they tried to take off and they ended up getting killed because they didn't want anybody to know that it wasn't real at all.
Mm.
And they had staged the whole thing.
Yeah, so that's probably coming from somewhere. So, but anyhow,
That was a long time ago.
Yeah,
It was,
yeah, no, it was pretty well known. And Stanley Kubrick actually, he made a movie that he was originally the one that supposedly filmed the moon landing, but then he made a movie called I think Eyes Wide Shut or something like that, that practically was highlighting all of these high level people ruling society, and then he got killed very actually before the movie released. So anyhow, yeah, you know, these things are there. I mean, even this Charlie Kirk thing, he was talking about the Epstein Island stuff and how this is a place that's blackmailing the most powerful people in the world 7 days before he had his public activity happen. You know, these are just the nature of society. It's all tricks and mirrors and underground
And then
things.
Also people are saying maybe that's not even real.
Yeah,
Anyway,
yeah. But you just basically it's between every living entity and God ultimately to discern truth. We accept our acharyas, the saints, and we accept ultimately certain scriptures. I wholeheartedly believe the Bhagavatam. I don't wholeheartedly accept, the cheaters atop the scientific and realms of modern society. So yeah, I'm cool with just being like, yeah, maybe it's not a globe. I'm cool with saying, yeah, maybe this thing didn't happen that they said happened. Maybe they used a hologram technology. Maybe that looked like a plane and it was something else. You know, look, maybe this happened, that happened. You know, we have no idea. We have no idea what they're doing, and just like an ant. An ant will be on the ground. If you just draw with black marker a circle around the ant, they won't go past it. They're like, oh. So, you know, if you see an ice wall beyond, Antarctica, and, you know, then they, you know, make a description, you know, maybe that's it. We're just supposed to be in this little spot, and we deal with what we deal with, and...
Well, unfortunately, I accept that we're spirits, soul, and not these bodies, and this will all...
Yeah. I mean, that's fact.
Probably calls it a dream.
Yeah, it is like a great dream, but at the same time, you know, we have to, when you realize it's a dream, then you have a chance to be extricated. You have a chance to wake up. But if you're very immersed in the dream and you hold very dearly to what's being seen in the dream, then you probably aren't going to wake up, you know, because you're still very immersed in the dream. So this is the enlightening process, is that you're waking up from the dream. I mean, the whole movie The Matrix was about just that. That, you know, they're putting like a simulation dream world to everyone's consciousness. And, you know, the media and the science, he puts on the glasses and he sees, you know. So like that, but that's what it is actually. And it's, but this has been talked about for millennia. But who's trying to wake up? I mean, we've
all
yeah, I mean,
famous
people,
folks.
the famous folks are like this in photos because
they
they're
like woke.
yeah, they are an awoke, like Illuminati. You know, it means the illuminated ones, the enlightened ones, and the one they know certain realities that we don't know because we're not in the club. The Freemasons and so many things. They're in the know of certain things, and we're not allowed to know because it's not in our benefit. Just like imagine if your dog knew about the whole world. You know, you purposely confine the dog's awareness.
Just a child growing up.
Yeah.
You're going to restrict what they
Can do and see, exactly. You have to, actually. So maybe the enlightened ones, they know that we're not worthy of certain things. Sorry, Parth. These conversations can get long. So anyway, I'm not telling you, I'm not promoting the Flat Earth Society. I'm not promoting anything like this, but I am saying I'm promoting the Bhagavatam. I'm promoting even the ancient wisdom scriptures, like the Bible having value, and that, and I'm definitely not promoting what the worldly people are promoting. So Grantharaj Srimad Bhagavatam ki.
Right.